Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Grab Matters podcast. Today we welcome on a very special guest, Davis Griffin. Davis Griffin is a former professional wakeboarder from Texas, and he was part of the famous Shredtown crew, which helped revolutionize street wakeboarding and park wakeboarding. We sit down and talk with him how the group formed, some of the filming from back in the days, Drop the Gun, his involvement with the X Games parts, and then also transitioning out of kind of being a professional rider into doing what he does now. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode with Davis. Remember, if you want to help support the podcast, make sure to join that Patreon. You guys can see who the guests are early, and then you can submit questions to them, and I'll ask them here on the podcast. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Thanks for tuning in.
I approve waterboarding.
They're talking about wakeboarding.
The thing about wakeboarding, every trick is an invert.
Backside.
Air railing.
A new dimension.
We're back. Another episode of the Grab Matters podcast. Today we have on Davis Griffin. Davis, how you doing?
Good, man. Nice to meet you, Hunter.
Nice to meet you too, man. Good to have you on. I love the double Shredtown hat and shirt.
Yeah, I had to bust out the old gear.
Got to represent.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start off with a couple easy questions. Number one, favorite grab.
Favorite grab? Oh, probably just a good indie.
Good
Maybe
indie.
like a little indie with a little poke.
Okay. I like that. I haven't got that one yet. Wake pants, yes or no?
No. I never wore pants ever wakeboarding.
Hard
Seems
no?
so, it just doesn't sound comfortable. It'd be like, you know, when you have wet jeans?
Brutal. The worst.
The worst.
Terrible.
Why would you want to wakeboard like that?
I guess, yeah. It's fair. It's fair. So hard no on the wake pants.
Hard no. Hard no on the wake pants.
Love it. All right, well, let's jump into the early days of Davis. So run us through, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Okay, so I was born in Dallas. My parents were, business people in Dallas. We lived there until I was maybe like 4 or 5, and then they wanted to get us out of Dallas. They found a spot in a little town called Athens, Texas. Really small town, like 12,000 people. And my dad grew up like water skiing on the river his whole life, so he wanted us to have a lake house to grow up at, and they found like a really cool little spot, like an untapped lake that was like really underdeveloped at the time, being so close to Dallas, and so we moved out there, and that's where I grew up. It was pretty nice.
Sick. So when was your first time? You start off water skiing then?
Yeah, I was water skiing by like 5 years old.
Okay, super young.
Yeah, really young.
Dang. And then did you kind of stick with water skiing for a while then, or?
Yeah, so, I mean, like, our first wakeboard was, like, a directional with, like, sandal bindings, and that was, like, my dad was riding it. I wasn't even riding it, so wakeboarding, I mean, it was already a thing, obviously, but, yeah, I think I didn't wakeboard probably until I was, like, 10 or 11, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know what boat you guys had?
We had a Malibu skier.
Okay. So you start wakeboarding behind that then?
Yeah, we had, like, a pylon, the center pylon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get some fat sacks in there too? Or
Yeah, big fat sack in the back, yeah.
Okay, so what's that like? You're, 11, 12 years old. Do you start, like, competing at all, or is it just fun stuff?
No, it was just for fun. I mean, I being on the water and water skiing and wakeboarding, it was just, like, normal. It wasn't, like, it wasn't anything that I even knew that there was, like, a scene, really, like when I was young.
Yeah. Just a recreation.
Yeah, it was just like fun to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you discover that there was like a kind of a world of water sports and wakeboarding and all that?
I think so I was decent, but I was never like pushing myself wakeboarding or anything. I was like just jumping the wake and
doing some indie grabs
and just like doing some sweet indies, whatever. But it really wasn't until I actually met Chris and Andrew. They also had lake houses on the lake, but I lived on the lake full time. So I was like friends with Chris, but Andrew was from Dallas. And it wasn't until I met them and like saw that they were wakeboarding too that I was like, we kind of like got into it,
Okay.
Like we started like pushing each other and trying new tricks and stuff. And then obviously we were like starting to watch videos and like
snowballs from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna ask who were you riding with and how did you meet those guys? And it sounds like just on the lake, kind of shredding.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long ago. I'm sure I was probably wakeboarding with Chris just because he was around, but not like a ton. And then I remember one time Chris and I were out wakeboarding, and Andrew's mom was pulling him wakeboarding, but like she couldn't start the boat for some reason. And it's like a pretty small lake. Like it's a decent sized lake, but we saw that they were like having some trouble. So we went over there, and like she had the kill switch out of the boat, and she couldn't start the boat. So we like went and helped them, and we're like, dude, you want to ride? And then we just like started riding together from that day.
Okay. And did either of them have like a wakeboard specific boat, or is it
Andrew had like a pretty nice, I think it was like a 210.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like maybe like 2008 something.
So pretty like
one of the
new,
ones with like
nice.
the steep wake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice compared to the Malibu skier. It was sick.
Yeah. So did you ride behind that then? Probably.
Yeah. Like, oh, dude, can we go behind yours?
Okay. So how does this relationship with you three snowball into, we're going to start filming and creating, content and doing some projects together?
It was, so it kind of just developed naturally because in such a small town, we were really the only 3 kids that were wakeboarding and were good, or like,
cared to push it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, we started when we would watch videos and go wakeboard. Yeah, we wanted to progress and everything, but at the time, for some reason, it seemed like too far of a stretch to become a pro wakeboarder behind the boat, because like it just seemed like the guys that were killing it already were just way too far ahead. So we were just like trying to catch up, kind of.
Okay.
I mean, we were decent, but it's like Danny Harf's already doing 1080s. It's like I don't think I'm gonna get there,
Yeah.
So we kind of just had our own little group of progression, and I never was aspiring to be a professional wakeboarder behind the boat. Like I didn't think that was a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when do you guys, I guess I don't know how far ahead this is, but do you guys come up with the name Shredtown much later, and it's initially now just a group? And then, when do you start filming, I guess
we started filming each other behind the boat. Andrew had a really nice camera, and he was like, he loved editing and filming and stuff. So that's kind of how we got into that. And we started filming each other behind the boat, started putting together some little edits and things. And that was fun. That was kind of the days of like Blogspot.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember exactly the order of things that happened, but it was, we started making edits. And then I think the first thing we ever did that really got any attention was that the video where we built like a little log A-frame in a pond, and we hit it with a winch.
Okay.
And I think that video somehow gained some traction. I can't remember the first video we had on, I think it was alliancewake.com. But we started getting some attention, and that's when we realized, I think we might have something here, like as far as having getting the attention of the wakeboarding industry.
Yeah. Okay. So when do the rails come in? Because you mentioned that log rail, but were you guys messing around with rails a little bit before then with a jet ski at all, or?
Yeah, we had been to some cable parks and wakeboarded and hit some rails, but I think whenever we got a winch, which I can't even remember when we got the winch, but it was it became this thing where we were trying to kind of emulate what snowboarders were doing and build our own rails. We started building rails in Andrew's backyard behind his dock.
Okay.
And we were doing some filming there, and it was just I think that's kind of where the winching started, was just right behind Andrew's dock, and we were building our own rails there.
Okay. But not really hitting too many spots yet, just messing around.
No, we weren't hitting any spots then.
Okay. So you're mentioning you guys are filming some videos. Did you make your own blogspot or website kind of thing before shredtown.com?
Well, we had shredtown.blogspot.com.
Okay. And so you guys are posting there quite a bit?
Yeah. So whenever we first started making videos, like I said, we made a video, got some attention, and then it was kind of well, let's make another one. And then as we started making more videos, we started getting more attention, and it was kind of like a snowball thing, where we would make a video, we would get attention, get a lot of views, and then we just
Keep going down that path of like, all right, we're getting attention. People are liking it. Just keep doing more and more. Okay. So what age would you say this kind of ranges when you got the winch and you guys are getting some attention initially for you?
I think we were like 17 or 18.
Okay. So what's it look like for you, like school wise? Is there any, like, do you go to school after, you graduate, or what's that look like?
Yeah. So we were in high school when all that was happening, like end of high school, like senior year. I think that's when we first started like winching and building some rails. We all went to college.
Okay.
Like it's been a long time, man.
We're diving back, maybe. We're digging deep.
So I remember the summer before we went to college, we were wakeboarding a ton, filming, and it was like, I remember us all being sad that we had to go to college. Like we were all like bummed. Chris and I went to Texas A&M, and then Andrew went to UT.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of coming back now. I think once we all went to college is when we we already had shredtown.blogspot.com then.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of when the Slingshot boys came.
Did you guys spend any time in Orlando before that? Did you visit Orlando before?
So when we came to Orlando, I was a sophomore in college.
Okay, so that was right after.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in college, but then we all dropped out of college, and we moved to Orlando.
Yeah,
and our parents were like, "Okay, this is really happening."
But Slingshot was before that, or no?
I think Andrew got sponsored first
okay.
while we were in college, and it was kind of like they were just like testing to see. Sponsored. I think they sent him a couple wakeboards. Yeah. And then me and Chris were like, "Whoa, what's happening?" But we were already we were filming some videos and getting some attention, and our videos were getting on alliance.com. But yeah, so we were in college. Andrew we would do like weekend trips all the time. I think at this point we were starting to hit some like street winch spots.
Okay. And putting them up on the blog spot.
Yeah. And then no, we must have already been sponsored by them, because I'm pretty sure the Slingshot team came down.
Yeah, Jeff and them came down to see you guys.
They came down to see us, and we had we filmed some boat stuff, but we had built like this pool setup at our friend's ranch, and we were winching that.
Okay.
And I think I'm getting things all mixed up here, but it's like, I'm pretty sure we were already on the Slingshot team.
Before you went to Orlando?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely were.
So getting paid by Slingshot then?
Yeah,
like official, like, all right, Shredtown's going to be
sure,
a thing.
Yes, we were getting paid before we dropped out of college and moved to Orlando.
Parents would probably be like, okay, you're not getting any money and you're just going to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, they were stoked. They were okay.
Okay, so let's run through that then. Slingshot, they sign the three of you to like, I guess I'm just curious how like a brand signs a team. Is it like, okay, we sit you all down?
I don't think, it was definitely different. So we'd gotten a lot of attention with our videos. Everyone was really stoked on what we were doing. And that's when the Slingshot team came to Texas and did a trip. And they came there to see who we were and what we were all about.
Yeah, meet you guys.
Yeah, which I'm trying to keep this all straight in my head, because
we're going pretty good.
As I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, we went like when they were there, we went winching in Dallas the whole time and hit like some sick spots.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's when Andrew got that cover when he did the wall ride on the that was down
Shredtown's first cover, right?
Yeah, that was down in Austin. So yeah, we were already like well into the game by that point.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they came down and ended up sponsoring all of us. It was like a team deal. I remember we talked about the whole thing, wrote up a contract, how's this going to work, and then Andrew, Chris, and I just split everything evenly.
Okay.
Yeah.
33.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
So is that enough money to live off of then? Like,
at the time, it was, it was cutting it close, but yeah, we could do it.
Okay.
Definitely, we're not making a bunch of money.
What are we talking?
We were like It was cutting it close.
Okay.
I had $0 at the end of every month.
Okay, you're spending everything that's coming in, but you're shredding. Okay.
But having fun.
Okay, so let's run through the move to Orlando then, because that's, you said your sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year in college.
So you've been on Slingshot for a little bit now, I'm guessing.
Probably like 2 years, two or 3 years.
Cool. So
I wish I had this all in order better. I was like, literally, I was thinking about this today. I'm like, God, like trying to think about exactly how it all happened.
Yeah.
And then like once someone starts asking you questions, the brain's like,
I mean, I think that was pretty good. You guys graduated high school, linked up with Slingshot, a couple years in college,
yeah,
and then
I don't have to get every detail right.
yeah, who's gonna fact check this? No one, you know what I mean? So
Andrew will.
that's true.
Andrew's gonna be like, dude, you told it all wrong.
Should have responded to my text then. Maybe we could have got.
I don't think he's gonna listen anyways. We'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully, we can get him to listen. Okay, so moving to Orlando. What's like? Why do you guys make the decision? What's that look like?
We were doing good in Texas. I think we just thought it would be better to be around the scene, like in the wakeboard scene. One of our other buddies lived here, was going to Rollins College, so we kind of just like crashed on his couch for a little bit. And we had Andrew's car. I drove in my car. Andrew kind of had a relationship with Pat Panakos already at this point too, because I think when Andrew was in high school, he went to the projects for a week one time. So we would go out there and ride the rails behind the jet skis. And I mean, it worked out as far as like building some relationships, but it was, there's not much winching here. I mean, we would literally just drive around all day and not really hit much. I mean, there's a couple really cool spots that we did hit here, but I mean, we were definitely more productive when we were in Texas.
Okay, so how long were you guys here for?
I think we lived here not even a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit all the spots there to hit and said, all right.
Yeah. I mean, we would like go to OW every once in a while and then go to the projects. And it was just, I mean, we weren't being very productive.
Okay. So you guys decide then, what's the decision to move back? How's that happen?
I don't really remember exactly how it happened. But this was probably around the time that Andrew's parents bought a property in Athens, which is the Shredtown Ranch. It's like 100 acres, and then it has a 30-acre lake on it. I'm sure that probably had a reason to why we went back.
Okay, so it's probably like, hey, we can maybe do our own thing.
Yeah, and this was right about the same time that I like totally busted my knee.
Okay,
on that
in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
is that the one?
Yeah, I can't. This was probably right after we moved back from Orlando.
Would make sense.
Yeah, so that happened. I was out for like a full year.
Let's run through that, because I was going to bring that up anyway, so it's a good time to run through that injury. So typically when you guys hit a spot, how did it go down to determine who's going to guinea pig and go first?
It was probably, I mean, if someone found a spot and they wanted to hit it and had an idea of what they wanted to do, then it's theirs. I think that spot kind of worked out. It was huge. It was like this. It's
sick.
Yeah, it would have been amazing if I could have actually done it, but I only got that one try. I don't know how I got chose to hit that. It wasn't like I got chosen to hit it. I think
it was rock, paper, scissors is what I remember on the, I went to shredtown.com and I think it was rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, so that's terrible. Unlucky on that one. But I mean, I was stoked to do it. It was just a crazy spot. The craziest part about it was I had to be lowered down into it with a rope, like because the bank was so steep, there was no other way to get up there. So I had to be lowered down into the upper pond, and there was like fish everywhere, like these nasty, huge carp just swimming all around, and it was just like the worst thing. And I was just like, "Get me out of here, just go!" And so I got up, and then obviously the rest happened. Instantly knew that I was toast. Like my knee was just destroyed.
So what was it? What was the?
I tore my ACL, MCL, and I don't know what they call it when you do your meniscus, but my meniscus was like, it's like that pad thing. It was just like cracked.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that was terrible.
Do you remember how many stairs you had to walk up to get back out?
They carried me, I think.
Or carry you up?
It was like a lot, yeah.
Okay. So what's the rehab for that looking like?
I waited. I think we had to wait a couple weeks to get surgery. I got surgery. I have a cadaver ACL, so I have like a dead person's ACL.
Okay.
But that's actually worked out pretty good.
Buffed.
It was a long recovery, but the good thing about it was I actually got to go back to college and finish.
Oh, you finished?
Yeah. So
Okay.
during that time, it was like a full year. I took two 18-hour semesters and finished.
Okay.
Andrew and Chris like kind of kept it going. Like they definitely kept it going. I don't know how they did that.
Like the content and stuff, you mean?
Yeah.
Videos and projects
I mean,
and
it
stuff?
definitely slowed way down, but yeah.
Still kept her trucking with you on IR.
yeah, definitely.
So what was your degree in then?
Like environmental studies. I was just like, I went to the counselor. I was like, what's the fastest way I can get out of here? Tell me which classes to take and how many classes to take. And they're like, you just take this. I was like, okay, done. I'll do that.
Check that off the box. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Shredtown Ranch then has to be, the boys are then riding there all the time, and you're...
I don't know if we had the system 2 yet. I don't know exactly when we got that, but we had a jet ski. We would build jet ski rails. Like that's when like Brad Smila, Chris O'Shea, and Brenton Priestley came down one time, and we filmed like a whole edit behind the ski on rails that we built.
Okay. Was there any pushback on what you guys were doing at any point in your riding from the community or anyone?
I wouldn't say pushback. I think everyone loved just seeing fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point, I mean, there was definitely people winching on wakeboards well before us. But like, I think our idea when we would film a new video was like, well, how could we make this different and something that's kind of gonna not push the boundaries, but like what kind of stuff hasn't been done before? So we would like just try to think of the weirdest stuff to get a reaction out of the internet, because that was like the heyday of like you post an edit and then you just sit there and see how many views it can get. It wasn't like there was no Instagram, so there wasn't like people could wait long periods of time for you to put out a new video, and then everyone would be hyped on that video for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Instead of such short form content that we have now.
Brutal. No.
So we were just loving that. Like we were eating that up.
Seeing the comments roll in.
Yeah, it was
people
the
are hyped.
best. That was what we did it for, was to make a new video and then everyone would be stoked.
Okay. So I guess you don't remember when the 2-tower system came in then?
I could look on my Instagram. I bet it was like maybe like 2014, 2015.
Okay.
2015 maybe.
Okay. So not too long after, the jet ski at the ranch, probably.
No, we had a system there pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Andrew talked to Pat, and then Beat all flew out and looked at the property and just figured it out, and they were like, yeah, they just gave us a system.
Sick.
Yeah. They were like, do cool shit.
That's awesome. And you definitely did do cool shit. Okay, so I was watching back a few of the edits, all the edits actually I watched, but the ones that I could find. And they all seemed to, not all of them, but a lot of them had like a theme.
Right.
So pallets, tubular, ballin', like they all had their own little thing. Was that intentional that you guys, like you said, were trying to get a reaction out of people?
Yeah, that was definitely like Andrew's deal. He was like the creative guy. We all had ideas. Once we had a theme, then that was the easiest way to like, if you have a theme, like an overarching theme for a video, then you can come up with a bunch of ideas that are like cohesive. And obviously that made for really good edits.
Yeah.
Right? Like if everything kind of looks similar and it's not just a bunch of jumbled stuff. Yeah, that was how we like to do it.
Good theme, good songs.
Yeah.
Tubular, do you have a favorite from back those edits? I don't know. You probably
I think
watched
the pallets one, yeah.
Pallets is good. I like Tubular. I thought
we used to just sit and watch and rewatch them all the time. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Love like all the angles on all that stuff, like of the pipes, and it just looks so much fun to ride.
Yeah, the tubular one was pretty amazing.
Yeah. I think Dylan was in that one.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So did people come out pretty often then to come and shred? I know Raph came. You were talking about some other boys that came through.
Yeah, we had the Australian guys down, Dylan. Who else? Not too many. And then the Slingshot guys, obviously.
Okay. Every now and again, though, people
Yeah.
would come down and.
And then once we got the system, I think the first big video we filmed on it was Lip Smack. That was with Patrick. That was when he worked for Slingshot, and so all the boys came down.
Okay. So at this time, you're on Slingshot. Do you have any other sponsors that you're talking to, or?
Yeah, we were sponsored by Board Co. for a little bit, and then Bywake, but it wasn't like, it was just like a merch deal.
Okay.
Our main sponsor was Slingshot. It was really it was hard to convince a company to sponsor 3 people.
Is that usually kind of what it was, or was like?
Yeah, I think it was just like
package deal.
These guys are really cool, but it seems expensive
Yeah, can't just pick
for 3 people.
one of them up. The influence was there though, so it would have been smart.
Yeah, I know. It was. I don't know.
Were you ever on Dragon? Dragon ever?
Yeah.
Okay. Were any of these like money deals, or were they just? It was all just gear and stuff.
Yeah, we weren't making much money. It was okay,
Yeah.
but we never
For the love of the game.
we never got the big payday.
Okay. Okay, so you said your favorite edit's probably Pallet's one from back then. Speaking of the team and kind of individually, do you think that you guys could have each made it as a pro on your own, or do you think
No.
it was totally Shredtown?
Yeah, I don't think we could have made it as a pros on our own. Like what we had was such a unique product, but I can't even imagine an avenue for me to be a pro wakeboarder without that. Like what would I do?
Yeah.
Go do rail jams? I don't know. What did they do? How did they do it?
Hit a spot by
I was
myself.
not a contest guy. I hated contests. I was so bad at contests. Like I would have never done good in those. And it wasn't like how, like snowboarding teams put out like a team video every year. Like wakeboarders, like it wasn't really like that. Well, I mean, we did Lip Smack. That was cool, but
Because there's not like a ton of money in it where you got all these.
yeah, it wasn't like you're going on these big trips and filming and everything. At least I wouldn't have been by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of contests, when did you guys go to France? You remember what year that was for FEAS, right?
Yeah, it was fees. I think that was 2017 maybe.
Okay. And did you ride in that contest there?
I did, yeah,
Okay.
terribly. So bad. And Andrew got injured like his first practice lap.
Jeez.
Or maybe his first run in the tournament.
And then did Chris do? I mean, you probably I don't remember how well Chris did.
I mean, Chris did okay in contests sometimes. Yeah, he was like he could do some shit during the contest, but yeah, no, we did terribly. But we had the best part of that trip was we had that Unleashed Wake magazine that came out. We had like every picture in there.
Did you guys hit quite a few spots when you were
Yeah,
over
we
there?
stayed for like 3 weeks. It was amazing. That was one of the best trips of my life for sure.
Just
yeah.
get rid of the contest part. All the other
Oh,
stuff
I
is
didn't
great.
care about the contest at all. It was fun.
What is a gypsy raid?
A what?
A gypsy raid.
Oh, all of our camera gear got stolen
Okay.
at the end of the trip.
How's at
think-
the airport or what?
No, we were at that cable park called Rufiac. It's I don't know. I don't even know where it is in France, but yeah, we got our camera stolen. I don't think we had any footage from that trip. It was all just
I was gonna say I only saw photos and stuff.
You know Reynald Tanny, who did Unleashed Wake magazine.
No.
He was the photographer and the editor back in the day.
Okay.
He was the one that took 1 million pictures of us. So that was what we got out of that trip.
Thank goodness for him.
Yeah.
Trip wouldn't have happened. Nobody would have known about it. Okay, so that trip was for fees basically, and then you guys hit a bunch of spots over there.
Yeah, Slingshot basically sent us over there and wanted us to go. Nate Perry went. Who else? Ollie was there. I think Ollie was on Slingshot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, he's been on Slingshot forever.
Okay, so I think it's a good time to talk about Drop the Gun. So what's the idea for that, and how do you guys come up with like, hey, we're gonna do a full length kind of feature film?
I forget. So I don't know when Instagram came out, but not too long after Instagram came out, maybe like a year or a couple years, it was like edits were becoming like less of a thing, and it was more about posting on Instagram and like more quick stuff and tricks from this. And I think the backlash from that was like, well, let's not show anyone anything, you know? And we would post pictures on our Instagram of what we were doing and where we were going, but it became like a thing of let's make a full length. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
We've made a ton of edits. So let's just stockpile some footage and we'll each have a part. Cause, I mean, that was the logical next step, was to do a full length movie.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys did, because it was
Yeah.
a sick full length. So where'd the funding from that? Do you guys go to, a couple sponsors, be like, hey, we're going to do a full length film?
Yeah, I think Sesatech sponsored it, Slingshot sponsored it, Biowake sponsored it, and and then we spent our own money.
Sweet.
Yeah, a lot of gas in the RV.
I can only imagine. Yeah. So what was your guys' goal with the movie? I mean, you kind of ran through it there a little bit, of save a bunch of stuff, have a bigger impact. Was that kind of your guys' meaning behind it?
Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah, the goal was just to make a full length video. That was. It wasn't like we had any aspirations for it or anything, but I think, it was better than we thought it was going to be. Or, I mean, I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be anything, but it turned out to be just like, that was the coolest thing we ever did.
It was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny because I feel like you could talk to a bunch of cable riders, or I mean, just wakeboarders in general, and like Drop the Gun is like a very like monumental piece in wakeboarding. Like it kind of showed street riding is possible, and you can actually make it look good. Because before then, it was, like you said, people were winching and stuff and hitting spots, but it was never really done super well.
It was like concise. It was just like, there was no fat. It was just like the best.
All killer, no filler, baby.
Yeah. And it was short too, which is good because you can just like sit down and watch it, which I really liked. Like, it wasn't too long, and it was just like boom, 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 boom. And then it was like, oh, wow. Yeah, it turned out amazing.
Did you guys, I mean, you kind of talked about it, but did you guys have any idea the impact that movie was going to have after you had wrapped it up and kind of watched it back?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we knew it was
good,
special. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't know what kind of impact it had. Definitely a lot of people have been like, wow, that's sick, and we got awards for it and everything, but, definitely stoked on how it was received. Yeah.
Yeah. That's gotta be a pretty cool moment. I mean, it won like video of the year and all that stuff. Right. So
yeah,
standing up on stage, accepting the awards gotta be pretty, I don't know, validating is the word, but like, it's gotta feel pretty good to create something like that. And
yeah, it's like, I don't know. I like to always say like, at least for me, or we used to always joke around about it, but like Shredtown, it's like we kind of just like snuck in the back door of the party that is wakeboarding. You know what I mean? And like we were just some kids from Texas. Like, wakeboarding was kind of its own thing, and then we're over here, but it was nice to make a big impact on the industry.
Yeah, huge impact for sure. What's your favorite clip from your part in that movie? When was the last time you watched it?
Oh man, it's been probably a couple of years.
You gotta go back and watch it tonight, man.
Yeah, I can watch it in my head.
All right, so favorite clip then? What do you got?
I think probably my ender, where I just did the front flip off that piece of concrete.
Your tame dog type situation.
Gnarly front flip.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
What's the scariest spot you think you hit in that? I mean, you have any that jump out at you?
I mean, the scariest spot I ever hit was the one when I got injured, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Once I was on the wall and then I jumped off, I was just like, oh my, you made a huge mistake.
It would have been so sick if you landed it, though. I mean,
it was so
you
tall.
basically stomped it. It was just too much.
It was so tall. Yeah, my little legs couldn't handle it.
I was watching the sketchiest one to me was the up concrete bank, and then there's the other piece of concrete that you land.
Yeah.
One of them,
and that was like super shallow water.
Yeah, did you guys have a pump running up?
No, it was just full. It was just full of water somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I thought there was a pump, but maybe there wasn't. How many tries was that tame dog concrete flip? Your ender?
First try.
It was first try.
Yeah.
Were you trying hippie jump there too?
No, Andrew tried that.
Andrew tried that. Okay.
Yeah, Andrew was gonna try to like jump up and run across and do that. But then I had the idea of doing that front flip, and then I just stuck it. I had been doing them on the system. I think I did it on the system and drop the gun too. I'll just jump off that thing we built. But anyways, yeah, I landed it first try, and then Andrew's like, dude, can you do it again and crash? I need like
You got to validate.
I need to build some suspense here. So I had to do it and crash.
Oh, so that was the aftergo, was you falling?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Little movie magic.
So you said you were trying them on the system and then brought them to the streets. Is that something you guys did throughout the filming of that? Was like you find a spot, this is the trick that I kind of want to get on it, and then you have the system to get it down basically before you go do it?
Yeah, or like I remember one trick Andrew always wanted to do was like to grind the chain. And like that's a spot. Where are you going to find that? So it's like we have a system, we can just build it.
Okay.
So like if you couldn't find a spot in the streets, then
And you had an idea, but
yeah, and you had an idea, you could just build it. I thought that was the coolest thing ever when he did that.
grind the chain.
That was so sick.
It's so sick. So there were a couple spots like that where it was like you used the winch, but it was in your guys's, or it was at the ranch or whatever.
Yeah, down the
Whatever that spillway thing.
yeah,
or
he
whatever.
had like, so the big lake drained into like this little tiny pond,
Okay.
which then drained down into a smaller one. So we kind of had like a little bi-level.
Okay.
Which is that's where we set up the other system during the jamboree.
Okay, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
While we're on winching, are there any rules to winching? In your opinion?
Rules. I think one rule we always had was like try not to hit a spot that a wake skater could hit.
Okay.
Because we just wanted to keep it like separate. Because we did get like sometimes the wake skaters would kind of like hate on our shit a little bit.
Spot's too small for a wakeboard,
Yeah.
guys. Come on.
Yeah. So we try to stay away from the little spots.
Was there ever any like talk about having a wake skater in Shredtown? Bringing a wake skater on?
No, I mean, we're so far out in the middle of nowhere in Texas. It's like we thought about, if we could grow Shredtown to more people, but just managing the three of us like was hard enough, getting us all on the same page, especially at that age.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Trying to get three young dudes together for a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, got it done at least.
Yeah, we did.
So you built pools for several spots.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the dry start?
That was a no-no.
So
another rule.
So that is a rule.
Start in water, end in water.
Okay. That's like, it has to start in water, end in water to count?
I mean,
For you guys when you were filming that was your
it
guys'
did, yeah.
thought.
I don't know. I can see how certain spots if you just start on the land and then kind of just slide and hit a little ramp, but then I don't know. Something's a little off.
Okay. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something's
like,
just a little off.
Yeah.
Okay. So start in water,
Still
end in
cool.
water. Yeah. It's boring. There's no actual rules to it.
No, there are no rules.
Um,
That's cool.
Let's talk about Shredtown Jamboree. So where did the idea from that come from? Did you guys come up with that on your own, or?
I bet it was probably Andrew and Jeff McKee. Because we would do the team. We did the team shoots there several times. Like the guys would all drive down, and then we would have all this stuff built, and then we could also they would shoot like all their boat photos on the way. So it was kind of like a team thing. And then I think it was like, well, we just need to share this with more people, and actually host an event.
Yeah.
That was where the idea came from, like sharing.
Okay. And get everybody, not just Slingshot people here. We got
Yeah, because we would have all these guys here, but it's just Slingshot, and it's like, well, how cool would it be if we like built way more stuff and had a contest?
Yeah, everybody come in.
Mm-hmm.
So was that first one in the spring or the fall? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither.
I bet you it was in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, because we probably built all spring, summer, and then it was ready by, I bet it was in September, I think.
Okay. Is it pretty sick to host your own contest and have all those? I mean, obviously it is to have all those riders who hadn't really had the opportunity to come ride at Shredtown, probably because it's, it was kind of like a Slingshot thing. Obviously,
Yeah.
some other riders did come in, but what was the reaction like from all the riders that came through?
Yeah, that was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
They were definitely stoked. It was the jamborees. Both of the jamborees were kind of like So we did the drop the gun, and then we hosted both jamborees. That was kind of like the 2 last big things we did. But yeah, to have everyone there for the contest, it was super stressful, like building everything. Obviously,
Sure, yeah.
a ton of work, but it was worth it. Yeah,
It was very visually pleasing as well.
Yeah.
All the setups and stuff. Who was the most impressive rider you saw at both of those? You know, because you hadn't seen probably a ton of people ride.
Yeah,
setup yet.
I mean, Raph Jerome he's insane. He's the best wakeboarder, I think. Yeah, for sure. And then Daniel Grant ended up hitting like every single obstacle we had, but on his wake skate.
He's just that good.
Yeah, he's insane. But yeah, I think Raph Jerome's the best wakeboarder for sure.
Yeah. Would you say he's the greatest of all time?
I think so. Well, yeah, as far as like street wakeboarding and park wakeboarding, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Also, probably boat.
Yeah. I think all around he's probably just
Yeah.
he's the best. one to do it.
He's the all around
The
goat.
ATV goat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
So why didn't the contest continue? You had 2 great years and then
Yeah, we had 2 good years. The last one was good, but just extremely stressful. It wasn't like we weren't making any money off of it. And that, that was kind of getting towards the end.
yeah.
Not that we were like completely done, but it was like the amount of time and energy put into it for the return it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we were spending money.
And you're getting older and you're like,
Yeah.
is this what we're doing? We're just going to keep spending our own money?
Yeah, it's super fun, but yeah.
Okay. So let's I guess kind of talk about, before we talk about passing the torch, is how I like to phrase it. It seems like the Space Mob guys is like the new Shredtown, or was. Tongues in or tongues out of your boots bindings?
What do you mean?
Like the tongue of the boot. You like it in or you like it out when you ride?
How do you leave it out?
You take it out.
Oh, you take it out.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I never took mine out.
You didn't take it out?
No.
Did you hear about people doing that? See people doing that?
I'm sure, yeah. Yeah, because I guess I saw some people taking it out. But no, we never messed with them. They were good how they came.
Okay, so yeah, let's do a little Patreon question here. So we got Patreon question from Dan Lay talking about the Shredtown days.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah, you know Dan?
Yeah, of course.
Heck yeah. So yeah, if you want to ask questions, see who the guests are early, make sure to hit that Patreon, and I'll ask him when I get the guests on. He's wondering what's the best Shredtown RV story that comes to mind.
Oh, gosh.
I'm sure there's a lot of them.
We had a kid. We were up in Hood River, Oregon one time, and we met this kid, Patrick. He was skating. They have like a little skate park there. He was skating in the bowl and doing he was barefoot in the bowl and doing like caballeros, like it was like a 540 out of the bowl. And we ended up hanging out with him for the rest of the day and just drinking and doing everything. He ended up sleeping on the roof of the RV. That was good. Oh man, there's so many. I might have peed in the bed one time. I don't know.
On accident, I'm hoping.
Yeah, on accident.
Long night, came home.
And then, gosh, we never got it stuck or anything. Yeah, we had such a good time in that thing.
Whose van was that?
That Andrew's dad owned or owns an auto leasing company out of Dallas, and I think a guy traded that in, and he just let us use it for a couple years, and then when we were done, he sold it.
Okay, cool. You guys put all your Shredtown shit all over it, and then
Yeah, we wrapped it.
So is that kind of like what life filming the movie was to you guys in that van a lot?
Yeah, it was that. Yeah.
Hitting spots.
Yep, just us 3, and then sometimes we would have obviously we would have photographers sometimes come with us, like Bear would do trips with us, Garrison would do trips with us, and then sometimes Patrick Wieland would help film.
Use the van for all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do cops like Shredtown?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah. We were super nice. Every time, we never had a bad interaction with a cop, ever. They would, obviously sometimes we would get kicked out, but they were always so intrigued about what we were doing, and we would just be super respectful. If you say yes, sir, to a cop, they love that shit.
They just eat it right up. There was a video from 2011 where I don't know if you were here for that because I couldn't tell who was in the video, but a few guys are in the woods and there's a cop that comes up and there's like a TP.
No. That's that was our local lake police.
Okay.
His name was Mose.
Were you there for that?
I actually wasn't. For some reason, I wasn't there that day. Like that was one of the first videos we filmed with the winch was built the little A-frame rail out of pine trees. And it was like this. It's behind the dam of the lake we grew up on, and it's like this protected area. It says no trespassing everywhere. But they were back there filming, and Mose is like a legend around our lake. Like he's this old lake cop. He's retired now, but he would get so pissed at us all the time, like give us all these tickets because we didn't have life jackets. Like he was just like the crabby old lake cop. So, what do you call it? Quintessential or whatever.
Yeah, textbook.
Just the stereotype old East Texas lake cop. Anyways, he caught the guys back there, and like, could you find that video?
Yeah, I'll put that video in for people
it's
who are watching.
Dude, that video is so funny.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Everybody heard me, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Anybody got a problem with it? Yes or no? Let's go right now. You didn't bring nothing down here, all right? Who's got a driver's license? ID. How you getting down here? Where did you come from? Well, there's a gate up there on that dam. It's got purple paint on it. It means no trespassing. Is it your property? That's the first clue right there, isn't it? The gate up there, it's a restricted area, prohibited area. What do you got all over there?
Those are wakeboards.
Huh?
Wakeboards.
Why?
The wakeboard.
Out there.
Yes, sir.
We have an inherent liability for your safety. That's one main reason why it is a prohibited, restricted area. Number two, you better learn, and I mean seriously learn, that if it ain't yours, you might not want to go on it. How are you getting down here on your dirt bikes? Piss me off. You'll go to jail. You won't get a ticket, you'll go to jail.
No.
Yeah, don't tell me no, because I know what he owns, and there's no other way you can get from here to there without crossing his property. Tell me no. All right, I want you to understand this. Maybe some of y'all didn't know this ain't a park. Okay? Now, I don't think y'all are heinous terrorist felons, but if you screwed with that dam, I will file under you under the Homeland Security Act, which is a first-degree felony. Okay? That's a minimum of 5 years in federal penitentiary and up to 99 years. So I know you'd do 5 years in a federal penitentiary. It's not your property, guys. It's not. And that's a wrong thought to think. Fuck, man. Are you that ignorant? Do you have a name?
Yes.
Tell it to me. Denton. Hadn't you ever dealt with the police before? Andrew, you're going to get a warning, and Chris, you're going to get a warning for criminal trespass. Written. So I'll have my documentation. You've been given a criminal trespass warrant not to come back on Athens Municipal Water Authority again. 4-wheelers, 3-wheelers, dirt bikes.
Yes, sir.
Hell, I guess it'd be army tanks at one point in time, but you can't have it. All right, let's go up here to my truck right now.
Because he just like goes off on this crazy rant, and Andrew has the camera filming the whole time, and he has no idea. Like the entire town ended up sharing that video. Like the fire department was laughing about it, the police department was laughing about it. I think he almost got fired from that.
If it was nowadays, he probably would have been.
Yeah, it was bad.
He was saying some funny shit, dude.
Yeah, it was bad. Like I think we honestly kind of felt bad because like the whole town was making fun of the guy.
Poor fella. Well, I mean, he kind of dug his own grave.
Yeah,
on
he
that one a
did.
little
That's
bit.
genuinely how he was in every interaction.
So he probably knew who you guys were then?
Yeah.
At that point?
Yeah, totally. We grew up with the guy, but he was just like livid. Dude, the funniest story, I'll go off on one little story about that. I had a house in Athens years later, like years after this happened, and I forget what happened. A pipe burst in my backyard or something, and there's like some city workers there, like 2 guys from the city having to dig up the pipe to fix the pipe. And I heard them talking to each other, and one of them goes, "Well, I guess there'll be army tanks at one time." They were quoting the movie at the video, and I was like, "What'd you guys just say?" And they're like, "Oh, just some video, and I'm like, no, we made that video. Like people were still quoting the video years and years later. It was so funny.
I mean, it's that good. It really is. Like a lot of those videos I was pulling up, I was just kind of scrolling through Shredtown. The website's still up, so whoever is paying for that domain, thank you. I don't know which
I'm sure Andrew's still paying. Yeah, they own it.
All right, sweet.
Yeah,
Keep it up forever. There's a lot of broken links and stuff, but
yeah,
there's a lot of very funny videos and pictures back then.
Yeah, I'm sure Andrew's old Vimeo has most of them.
Okay.
It sucked because we never had YouTube. We couldn't get the YouTube.
Those were the Vimeo days. Vimeo was huge.
But someone had the YouTube, and we could never monetize it. And I mean, like, looking back, that would have been cool.
It would have been cool to have them all on that one platform, too. If he still has them, he should re-upload them to a YouTube weekly or whatever it'd be.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very entertaining videos. What's the smallest spot you've ever hit?
Smallest spot.
Yeah. There's one particularly small spot that I'm thinking of.
Andrew's hot tub?
Yeah.
That was such a good movie.
I'll put that clip in too because that's
that was
super
so funny.
It was your first clip in that or whatever. Soap or wax if you're hitting a spot?
Wax.
Wax?
Yeah. We used that the wax you buy at like the grocery store, the canning wax. It's called Gulf wax.
Yeah, GULF wax, yeah. That's your
Mm-hmm.
go-to favorite.
Yeah. And I forget who gave us the tip, but those rub bricks.
Yeah.
Rub the concrete and then wax it,
Crucial.
Yep.
I want you to rank these types of poles. So you have full-size cable, 2-tower, winch, boat, and PWC. If you were to rank in order of which you'd prefer to get pulled
Best
by.
to worst?
Best to worst.
System 2 first.
Number 1.
Yeah. And then a winch.
Electric or gas?
We never used an electric.
I was going to say that had to have been right after you guys.
Yeah, we never got to use one.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah, I got one. Sitting right there.
What?
Yeah. You want to go hit a spot sometime?
I'm down.
You are, actually?
Sure.
Let's do it, dude. That would be sick.
And
yeah,
then,
you'd love the electric.
Where was I?
System
2,
full
and a
size,
winch.
or a winch. You got full-size boat, PWC.
Oh, man, I haven't even ridden behind a jet ski in forever. Probably then a boat, full size, and then PWC.
Boat before full-size, huh?
Yeah.
Not a big plastic rail guy?
I don't know. I never loved cable parks.
Why not?
I don't know. I just hated falling and having to walk, and then like I would not want to try what I wanted because I didn't want to fall. So I was never like free. Like I never got to the point where I was comfortable enough to try exactly what I wanted to try because I didn't want to fall. I didn't want to walk back.
All right.
Does that make sense?
That's Lazy Davis talking right there.
But it's like, I don't know.
You like the full service?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to be picked up.
Yeah, I can get down with that. Let's see here. Do you know how many did you guys have a pro model with ridiculous winches?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Do you know how many of those were sold?
Maybe like 4.
4? What's the royalties looking like on those?
I don't know how many were sold, man. Not many. Winching is not many people buying winches.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably
the
more
electric
now.
ones now, though, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I mean, they were nowadays. I feel like people use them for different stuff.
100%, yeah. You see people doing crazy shit.
Snowboarders were using winches some back then, but yeah, no, nobody bought our winch.
Yeah. Sad. It looked pretty cool. It had a cool design on it.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have any problems with gas winches at all, or kind of pretty smooth sailing when you were hitting spots?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing would be like running out of gas, or it's pretty hard to like dial in the speed exactly you want. But yeah, no, we never really had any problems.
I've only ever had problems with gas winches.
Really?
I've used 2, and they both always just had problems.
Yeah, no, ours was good.
Must be nice. Okay, let's talk. Well, before we talk about kind of passing the torch on and what that looks like for the Shredtown crew, you guys never wore a helmet or a vest. So any of you, or any of the spots you guys were hitting, have any gnarly slams where you were kind of wishing that maybe you would have? And did you get any pushback from anybody?
Andrew had 2 bad falls where he hit his head. One time in Omaha, we were like hitting a spot and it looked fine. He was just trying to like ride this log off a drop, and then it kind of slipped out, and he ended up like thinking he was going to try and like dive, but it was like this deep.
Oh.
And he just smashed his head, got a concussion really bad. That was horrible. And then another time he tried to, remember when he rode out of the back of that Penske truck?
Mm-hmm.
And then he got knocked unconscious and was like face down in the water. And then I like went up on the jet ski and picked him up. Yeah. That was also bad. I don't know if a helmet would have helped.
Wouldn't have hurt probably on those.
Yeah. I don't know why we didn't. I think it was just like, I don't know why.
Aesthetic thing? Or
Yeah, probably aesthetic.
Never really
just
did.
like it wouldn't have looked as good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure when we rode behind the system, we would sometimes have a vest on underneath our shirt.
When the ride engine days came in and they were
Yeah.
picked you guys up. So did anyone ever like throw comments your way of, or you know, any of the mags being like, hey, we're not going to run this stuff because you guys are?
I don't remember that. I don't think so.
No, really.
All
right.
I'm sure nowadays I don't think it would fly.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of skateboarders don't wear helmets.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But it's different when you're in the water.
True.
Yeah.
And skating, you can jump off and run.
Yeah.
You're strapped in on a board.
Yeah. No, I mean, we never had any bad comments about that, but I can see why people would be upset about that.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, so let's talk about the Shredtown days. Kind of, I guess, coming to an end is the way to phrase it, right? So, what's that looking like for you guys? Is it like a slow kind of transition, or you guys?
It was, yeah. It was kind of slow. I mean, we didn't want to try and keep it alive longer than like. I think we all kind of agreed we didn't want to like milk it, you know. When it ended, it was time, you know. But our last edit was like that ride engine edit,
Yeah,
with the big circle thing,
Yeah.
which was cool. But it took us so long to film it, and I think you could just tell it was like we were all getting to the age and to the point where we were kind of just like didn't want to be doing it anymore. It was still fun, but it wasn't the same anymore. Like we kind of done every single thing that we set out to do. And then we were just like, kind of like, yeah, we're done. It's sad, but
hang it up.
Yeah. I mean, we're three, basically, you know, grown men at this point living in a small town in East Texas. How long can you keep doing that?
I don't know. Was there ever talks of a second movie?
No.
No.
Yeah, I think it just got to a point where we just couldn't do it anymore. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like we had some falling out or anything.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, we were over it.
So it was just kind of a peaceful, slow transition of like, we did our thing.
Yeah. I think we literally did everything we set out to do. It went way farther than we ever thought it would. And it was an amazing ride. We did it for 10 years. So
Yeah, decade of
good
Shredtown.
enough.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a lot longer than anybody else's. A lot of other people have been
That's
pro
good
riders.
enough.
So
Sometimes I think I look back and I'm like, I wonder if I could have somehow continued in the industry, but I don't know. It just didn't work out. I'm still friends with everyone. I still live here in Orlando. Like I still talk to Jeff sometimes and Bear and hang out with Parks and Shane and Rossiter and
you still ride all the time, right?
no.
Well, so you said earlier or at the beginning, you were like, if I never saw me being a pro boat rider at all.
Mm-hmm.
So when the pro, you know, doing your own unique thing happened, were you a little bit surprised of like, oh, like we're going to be pro wakeboarders, but we're not going to do the thing that pretty much anybody else has ever done before?
Yeah, it was definitely surprising. I think we were all surprised. We found a niche little thing, and it was like the perfect timing too with the way the internet was. And Andrew was great at filming. He had all the equipment. There was 3 of us, someone to drive, someone to film, someone to wakeboard. It was like this perfect little recipe for us to be able to create that. And then that's what we did.
Did it damn well.
Yeah. It definitely felt like I was saying, like it definitely felt like we snuck into the wakeboarding party and just hung out for a while.
10 years. I mean,
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
a while.
It was fun.
So you said, so like board royalties and stuff, you guys have pro model or had pro model boots and then board, right? Okay. So what's that? You guys split that all?
So we never did royalties. We just like every year we would redo our contract and get a little more and get a little more and get a little more. By the end, we were making enough to be fine, but we never got like, what do the kids say? The bag.
Yeah.
We never got the
That's
bag.
what the kids say.
But it's all right.
I mean, not a lot of wakeboarders, I feel like, get the bag. So.
No. I think the bag is in like, if you do well at contests, then you can get like a big energy drink sponsor, which we never got.
Was there any talks of that ever happening?
Not really. I don't know why. I mean,
Kind of fit what an energy drink I feel like would be interesting.
yeah, like we could have done some cool projects together, but I think it was just, we were just like a wild card.
Yeah, over there
Nobody
in East
wanted
Texas.
to take a bet.
Oh, yeah. Slingshot did, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, Slingshot. They were everything. They did all of that. Yeah, they helped us.
Love it. So you said you don't wakeboard now. Do you still got some setups?
Yeah, I still have all the old wakeboards.
Okay. What's your favorite graphic you guys had? You got a favorite? Any that jump out?
I mean,
Or boots, I guess.
The TP one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my favorite.
So how's that work when you guys do you guys design a board together, or because you all probably have a little
So
bit? I mean, you do have
Slingshot
different
always had
styles.
like the sickest artists. Typically, like Andrew would work with the artist, and
Okay.
then we would kind of all sit down and like look at it and come up with some more ideas, and then do another rendering. But yeah, we would always just throw around ideas. We worked together constantly, so we were always just like talking about everything. But Andrew was the one who was like really the one who was in communication with like the artist and Slingshot most of the time.
Okay. And the board itself, though, did you guys? Because you all have a little bit different.
Yeah,
riding style.
we would, you know, we need it more flexible. We need it a little bit more durable. Like we're breaking this part of it. Yeah, we would just tweak it every year.
Okay. And everybody was pretty stoked on how it rode.
Yeah,
Together.
yeah, it was always sick.
Got the fin holes in there too, if you need to jump on the boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our last one actually didn't have fin holes.
Didn't the last one? Was that the white one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't wakeboard.
No.
Well, you're gonna soon because we're gonna hit a spot. What are the boys up to now? You talk to them at all?
Yeah, not a lot, but Andrew has a drone film company. He's like, obviously he was like the filmer. He was the one that was all into that. He's got a drone film company called Dallas Drone Pros. They film all kinds of cool shit. Like they've done like car commercials, and he does that with one of our other buddies. And then Chris lives in Dallas. They both live in Dallas.
Okay, both still in Texas.
Yeah, Chris lives in Dallas. He actually has a couple Airbnb houseboats. He copied me on that.
Do you have those?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I own a little Airbnb houseboat up in Sanford.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
but he actually has 3 now.
Wow. So is that his full time gig then? Probably.
I think
Kinda
so,
taking care
yeah.
of that. That's sick.
Yeah.
You guys still?
And Chris has a kid.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Chris has a kid.
Dang. What's his name? Her name? You know?
Scout.
Scout. Sick name.
Yeah.
Do you guys like hang out at all together? I mean, when you
Yeah,
get back
so
to
I go back a
Texas-
lot. I go back at least 4 or 5 times a year because my family still lives there. And then, yeah, I'll hang out with the boys. Not a ton, but yeah.
Is that 2 Tower still up at
No,
the ranch now?
they took it down.
Bummer.
I think it's, I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it. It's still there, though.
Yeah. Still like up, you think? Or
No, it's not up.
Oh, taken down.
It's like sitting there somewhere.
Okay. So what brought you back to Florida then?
So I've been with my fiance for 10 years, and I met her here when we were on a trip for Surf Expo. I was at a party at Bear's house, and we ended up meeting, and then that was the rest was history, I guess you'd say. But so after everything kind of fizzled out in Texas, I owned a little house there in Athens, but it was just like I don't know. I just wanted to change, and I already had a bunch of friends here. She had a little condo here, so we just moved here.
Okay.
And I like it here.
You like it here?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do besides the houseboat rental?
So I work right when we stopped wakeboarding. I guess that was 2019. I ended up going and working for Henshaw and Keith Lidberg because they own it's called Artificial Grass Co. They own a artificial grass company, and like I helped them on their first like big job. So I worked with them for a little bit. I don't know how long, maybe like 4 or 5 months. And then I ended up, one of my fiance's friends, her husband is a general contractor here, and he hired me to be his superintendent. I was his superintendent for like 3 years building custom homes. I had worked construction in college before that, and then like obviously we built a bunch of stuff for
built some
Shredtown.
rails.
So I was familiar with it, but this was definitely like a big learning curve. Like basically the first day he like threw these plans at me and was just like, here, you're now the superintendent. Like, but I mean, I know my way around a construction site and building houses. So, but I learned a ton. I did that for 3 years with him, and then he moved, and now I've just been basically like all his clients started calling me, needing random stuff done, handyman type stuff, and then now it's turned into like some remodeling, renovations. So I own my own little handyman business.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Your own boss. And then you got the houseboat thing too?
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the houseboat. Like, what's that look like? You buy a houseboat,
So
flip it?
this was the weirdest thing. So Kellyanne, my fiance, she found this like crazy old, it's like an old sailboat, but it's made out of concrete. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Probably not. It's a concrete sailboat. It's crazy, but it's 40 feet long. It's huge. She found it on Craigslist. Anyway, we ended up going and looking at it, buying it for like dirt cheap. It was a piece of junk. It was like full of water. It has a big cabin on top. I'll show you pictures of it after this. But the house I used to own back in Texas, we turned the garage into an Airbnb. So we kind of already had that. Like she already knew how to run an Airbnb. So we had the idea of making like a weird one. You know how people have like weird Airbnbs. But we ended up working on it for like 2 years, totally gutted the whole thing, turned it into like this cool little spot. It's got like a queen bed in the back, a big couch in the front, a full kitchen, a bathroom. It's a sick little thing. And then we put it on Airbnb, and it does really well. It's on what's that? The Lake Monroe, like where the St. John's goes into Lake Monroe up in Sanford. It's right there at a marina.
Okay. I was going to ask a stupid question. Is it in the water?
Yeah,
or was it on
it's
land?
it's in the water. It's at a marina, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's just like a.
Can it go anywhere? Or is it?
I mean, no.
No.
I took the engine out of it.
Okay. Stays.
Yeah, just chill.
Moored up. Okay. So do you still follow wakeboarding at all?
I do, but not like. I mean, I still follow everyone that I used to follow on Instagram, and then like I'll watch the Space Mob guys stuff, but not a ton. I don't know.
Why don't you ride anymore?
I don't know. I think it's just I could ride, but it's not like I'm going. Like I would never just like jump in the car and go up to Valdosta and wakeboard for the weekend.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that thing. Like I did so much stuff wakeboarding and wakeboarded in the weirdest spots and like did everything. It's like I'm sure I would have fun, but it's not gonna be like I feel like I already did everything that I wanted to do on a wakeboard, and it would not be the same.
A backflip just wouldn't give you that.
I don't even know. Yeah, I would just feel all weird and probably suck.
Well, yeah, everybody's kind of sucks.
Like I still like if I'm ever out on a boat, I'll wake skate, and I like barefooting.
Big footing guy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like barefooting.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
and
know.
like I've wakeboarded a couple times. Like I wakeboarded once behind Dylan's boat, did like a 360 and a back roll, tried to roll to blind, and then that was it.
Interesting. I always just think it's interesting with, old pro riders, not old, but like out of your career. Like I'll never stop wakeboarding, but I was never a pro rider. So it never meant the same thing it means to other people. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I don't know why I don't wakeboard anymore. I'll have to think about it.
You should wakeboard and
I
then
literally
see.
knew you were going to ask me that and thought about it all day. I'm like, why don't I wakeboard anymore? Like, it doesn't matter if I suck.
No, who cares? You got a big resume, dude. No one cares.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you should go to
Next time I go to Valdosta, I'm going to take some laps.
There you go. When was the last time you've been up there? Probably
Yard
Yard
sale.
sale. Okay, I was gonna say
I didn't go this year or last year, but I went
for the
maybe
third one.
3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was the last time you'd say you have wakeboarded? Was it on Dylan's boat?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Probably 2 years ago.
Okay. We're gonna have to get you back on the board, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Random question: were you there for a Jeff McKee April Fool's phone call? Kind of like a prank phone call.
Oh yeah, what did we do?
It's tough because I would watch these videos and I can't tell who's in them because the camera isn't like. There's obviously someone behind the camera and then somebody somewhere else as well.
No, I forget what did
Perched in
we
his car.
What did we do?
He had a Dodge. I think it was a Dodge, maybe car.
Yeah.
That he had up for sale.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Andrew called him asking about his car and asking the most random questions.
I just wanted an excuse to put that clip in here because
funny.
it is like a 6-minute video, but I'll throw a little bit of that in.
That is so funny. Yeah.
What's the top speed? You know, or on the
I don't know. I mean,
like 180 or something?
what is this?
Excuse me?
I feel like you're pulling my chain right now.
Oh, sorry. No. I'm just new to this whole deal, so I just had a couple questions to ask you.
Okay. Hey, you mind if I call you right back?
Yeah, that's fine. Do that.
All right, cool.
All right, thank you.
We found some old school stuff.
Dude, I was digging through. I feel like we could go through the old school stuff for a while, but
Yeah.
there was definitely some good stuff. Speaking of travel, though, you were talking that wakeboarding's you've done a lot wakeboarding. Where's the coolest place you like to wakeboard?
France was pretty amazing. And then we did get to go on a Philippines trip. That was cool.
Yeah, run through that Philippines trip.
So the Philippines trip, they flew us out, and then it was like with the intention they were building the new pool thing. I think they already had the pool there, but they totally like redesigned it and rebuilt a bunch of rails there. And then we went with Patrick and the rest of the Slingshot team and filmed a video.
Pretty sick.
I think there was a contest too, but I did like
You probably got first.
no. I remember doing like one lap. And then I was wakeboarding against like Windsor in his heyday.
Daniel Grant and
Yeah.
Tom Fouché,
It's like,
probably.
whatever, dude.
This ain't my style, right?
Yeah, no. Terrible, especially behind the cable. So bad at contests on the cable.
Yeah.
I might be able to do like some stuff if it was a system too, but I
Full
don't know.
size. Didn't really spend a ton of time on the full size. Sounds
No,
like.
it's so different. Like
Yeah,
it's just a different pull.
definitely is. Got corners too.
Mm-hmm.
Got a turn.
Yeah, I did like a couple air tricks ever. I feel like you can get rocked so bad on those.
Air tricks, I think, are the ones you get most smoked
Yeah,
on,
I
for
can't.
sure.
I could never do them.
Yeah, you see kids come down a little early, catch the toes, and it's lights out. I'd like to get Chris and Andrew
Yeah, I
on
guess. I mean, we
sometime.
really didn't talk about Chris and Andrew that much, but I mean, they're not really here to defend themselves. And
That's
like,
kind of what I was thinking. I
what
want to
am I
have all
gonna
three
What am I
guys
gonna
on.
say about them? Like, yeah, they're great guys. I love them like brothers for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we're not like that close anymore, but we're always gonna be like the second that we're all in the same room. It's still exactly the
good
same.
old days.
Yeah, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, couldn't be happier with the way things turned out. It was a good run.
Good chapter. of your
Yeah,
life.
I'm. It's crazy to do like something like that and then retire and then move on to something completely different. Like it's cool. I'll always look back and that's just gonna be like that section of my life, which is really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
accomplished a lot of shit in that section.
Mm-hmm.
Some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely went down. All right. Anything? I mean, anyone you want to thank or anything like that before we wrap this up?
Definitely thanks to everyone who watched our videos and hyped us up. That was literally the main reason we kept doing what we were doing is just because we were getting positive reinforcement, right? Like everyone loved what we were doing. People were stoked that it wasn't just like the same old, and then so that like fed us to keep going, and that was sick. Obviously Slingshot, anyone who sponsored us, Buy Wakeboard Co., all that stuff. It was never about the money anyways. We just were stoked to do it. But thanks for having me on, dude.
Thanks for coming on, driving out. I mean,
It's nice to meet you. I'm gonna take you. All right, I'm gonna take you up on this winching offer.
We'll find a
What,
spot.
you got spots around here?
I got some spots. I got a 6 spot in Jacksonville. I
Do
want
a
to
little
hit.
grass slide.
Yeah, we can do a little dry start. How about that? We'll do a dry start spot.
I'll dry start.
No, we'll find something mellow and we'll hit it. Make a little video
I'm
of it.
down. I've never hit an electric winch. I'm down.
They're sick. They are.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
Do you
heard.
have the one with like the throttle on your thumb?
I don't have that. No.
I don't see the point in that.
That's what I was thinking.
Unless
too.
you're a surfer.
If you're a surfer, or if you're just hitting a spot that you're not going to do any spins on or spins out of, like if it's a big heavy rail, maybe I don't know. I feel like it'd be a little hairy using your thumb to have to talk to someone that's actually used it, I guess. But I've heard it feels like a 2-tower. I haven't ridden a bunch of 2-towers in my life, but I heard the electric winch is like if you get it in a nice spot, you can hardly tell the difference.
That thing's crazy. It's so small. Is there a battery pack?
Yeah, there's a battery pack, probably the size of this, maybe a little bit smaller.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It'll just go for hours.
It depends on like if you're doing like an easy start where like you slide off the grass into the water, you can go for a while.
Yeah.
But if you're doing deep water starts, it's draining the battery quite a bit.
Man.
But yeah, great upgrade from the gas winches. I wish you boys would have had an electric one back in the day.
Yeah, that would have been nice. God, we lugged that thing all over the place.
Big upgrade. Yeah, I can't imagine doing gas. I mean, I've done it, but gas winches over fences and all that annoying stuff. Heavy and loud.
Yeah.
All right. Well, wrapping it up. That was good.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun, dude. Thanks for
I was a
coming
little like, at the beginning when I couldn't remember shit, I was like, oh no.
No, dude, it was perfect. I mean, it's tough in those early days when you're trying to think back.
I'm trying to keep it all in order.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, am I getting this right?
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot to talk about
Told the story.
is X Games. So.
Oh, X Games.
Yeah, I feel like I have to talk about X Games.
Yeah.
Twice, but so it was Chris and Andrew. Like Andrew was the filmer, Chris was the rider, but you had the most important job, which was
driving the winch.
Yeah,
for sure. And I mean, so that was like, obviously Chris was the choice to be the rider in that one, just because he always hit the gnarliest shit. And then Andrew was the filmer, which was, I mean, they put together the sickest 2 parts ever.
So sick.
Won gold both times, right?
The first one was like the fan vote gold, and then actual gold, and then the second one I think was bronze and then fan vote gold.
Yeah, that was a whole nother thing. That was crazy. So that took up a ton of whenever we did that was a whole nother adventure, like just going out and filming that. But I was like, I was like the head winch driver. That was my job. I took it very seriously.
Well, you gotta the winch
and then
driver.
I remember like I wouldn't even let anyone drive the RV. I'm like, no, I'm driving the RV.
Driving the RV, I'm driving the winch.
I'm driving everywhere.
You boys are filming and riding.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, any good stories from either of those two? I'm sure there's tons, but anything that jump out to you about winching for X Games?
I mean, nothing in particular. Just that was just like nonstop.
Yeah.
We had to get it done like quick, you know. Oh, I don't remember if that was at the same time. One time I had to. We were in Kansas City and we went and ate Buffalo Wild Wings, and then like we get back to the RV and I'm like, shit, dude, my stomach hurts. Like, what is that? Like, didn't feel like a normal stomach ache. And then I went to sleep and woke up in the exact same thing. It was like this weird pain. I'm like, dude, I think my appendix is like messed up or something. Called Chris's dad. He's like, oh, go to the hospital right now. I was in Kansas City. Go to the hospital. They're like, yeah, all right, we're going to have to take your appendix out. So take my appendix out. The boys are sitting there next to me, like in the hospital room, get my appendix out. I get out the next day and we go hit a spot. I'm filming. So funny.
And this was Real Wake, during Real Wake?
I think so.
Okay, I was
maybe
gonna say.
not. I think it was.
Time's limited, like you were saying on Real Wake. You can't have these appendix bursting.
Yeah,
left
no,
and
we
right.
couldn't go home. We had to keep going.
Love it.
Yeah.
Dang. All right. You got a gold though, right? Since you guys got double gold.
So I think we had enough golds to go around. So I got.
Must
one.
be nice.
Yeah, I got one. It's in one of my little keepsake boxes.
I got it.
Yeah.
Love it. That's sick. That You guys got double, so you could get one.
Yeah.
Thrown your way.
Oh, that would have sucked if I didn't get one.
I know. Because the filmer gets one and the rider gets one, right? So
Uh-huh.
they ended up with 4 and you were 3 of you.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, that was nice.
Sick. All right. Well, now we're wrapping it up now.
All right.
Unless there's any stories. we
Nice
dive
to
back
meet you,
into.
bro.
Dude, it was nice to meet you, man. Thanks
Yeah,
for
that was a
coming
good conversation. Good to go back to it all because I don't think about it that much.
out. I think it'd be sick to have 3 of you guys on.
Yeah,
And kind
that
of do
would-
like,
I don't know how you're gonna get Andrew. Did you even get him on the phone?
I tried, dude. And I tried Chris, too.
What's wrong with them?
I don't know, man. Chris was down, and then I think we forgot, or he forgot.
Oh,
and then I messaged him yesterday.
He messaged you back.
And then he didn't respond.
It's hard to get a hold of Andrew.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
is what it is.
I think it'd be sick to get all 3 of you guys
Busy
on at some
dudes.
point.
Yeah.
If they're in Florida, I'll make it happen.
Okay, cool.
We'll try at least. And then we'll hit a spot. It'll be sick.
Down.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Thanks for coming on.
See you,
Peace.
dude. Thank you.